news and notes to the coaches and players for America's team, let us go inside the Stars on 105.3 The Fan.
It was a Cowboys Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
See, it's interesting the way it's worked. We had Monday off, so yesterday was like Tuesday for us, but for the Cowboys, because they're playing Saturday, they shift their schedule, so it was like Thursday for them. So nobody really had Wednesday yesterday. But because it was a Thursday, even though it was a Wednesday, Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb both spoke, and there was a lot of interest, I think, in what Dak and Lamb had to say about what went down with essentially the neglect of Lamb over 2.5 quarters. And their responses were really interesting to me, particularly CeeDee Lamb's, and I can't wait for your thoughts on this, Choppy. First clip here. Dak was asked, did you see a lot of missed opportunities when you went back and looked at the tape? Did you see missed opportunities to get CeeDee the ball?
I think a lot of factors played into that. They got the rush going a little bit, getting me off the spot. Obviously, we talked about them clouding the coverage to CeeDee, putting more people to his side. Wasn't giving us quite as favorable looks as they were early in the game. And I mean, that's credit to Fangio. As I said, the guy's been around for a long time. He's a hell of a play caller. And so he wasn't going to sit there and, as I said, allow CeeDee to have a career day. But maybe at one or two I could say this or that. But overall, well done by them, and we just couldn't get out of our own way. And whether that was 2 drives starting backed up within the 5-yard line, that's never easy there. Yeah, and credit to them.
All right, so this is one of those things that happens in every fan base across the country. They ask, well, why couldn't you just do it? Why couldn't you get the ball? Why couldn't you do it?
Mm-hmm.
Like, some of that has to do with the other team still.
Sure, and Fangio's got a history of changing things up and making it difficult on Dak. And that's what Dak just gave him credit there. What's interesting is you hear Dak say,
like, real quick, it was clear after the Cowboys' second drive that Miami changed things up. Clear.
They changed things up, but I think there were still opportunities for CeeDee. I don't know that I totally agree. Michael Gelkin had tweeted a clip where there were 2 smoke routes on one play at one point, and it's step back. You have the option to toss to CeeDee, toss to Gallup. He went to Gallup. It didn't work out, and CeeDee was really frustrated afterwards. You got to find opportunities like that to get him involved when you're going 2.5 quarters without him getting the ball. So Dak there says, Fangio adjusted coverage, and they were moving me off my spot. Pass rush was impacting things. Let's see if CeeDee Lamb agrees with that. This is CeeDee talking about the disappearance of his involvement for a couple quarters.
Really nothing, to be honest. I feel like everything that we had was still in front of us. I mean, we still had the opportunity to, win the game, and that's probably the best thing for us, and that's all we can really ask for, just the opportunity and a chance to win, and that we gave ourselves, so that's pretty much it.
So do you and Dak talk after those games about what he was seeing and maybe why the ball didn't come to your way in the second and third quarter?
Not really, no. Just kind of clear a couple things up as far as detailing on route running and, execution.
How much of that was contributed to the offensive line not being at full strength and just some of the timing on some of those routes?
Not a problem.
Interesting. So CeeDee says, look, not a lot to clean up. I think opportunities were still there. I don't think that the pass rush was much of a problem at all. So different tone from Dak. And look, I love...
It's pretty obvious the pass rush was a problem.
Yeah, the pass rush was a problem. I think what CeeDee's saying is it clearly was a problem because he followed up after that. Somebody said, well, you agree that you were compromised on the left side, causing problems. He goes, oh, absolutely. You take Tyron out, that's going to cause... I think CeeDee's saying it was not enough of an excuse to say we can't move the ball. Like, there were still opportunities there. And I love... CeeDee Lamb is probably my favorite quote in the locker room. Yeah. I mean, we got to talk to him in Oxnard. Was there a better interview in Oxnard than Lamb? Like, just in terms of his honesty and how direct he is and the way that he explains what he's looking at.
He was pretty good. I can't think of one, but I think he was pretty damn good.
I think CeeDee is, and it's something that he's really grown into. And CeeDee said that he realized a couple years ago that he needed to just tell the truth. Just say it straight instead of trying to come up with an answer, craft a perfect answer, that he found things became easier when he just shot it straight. So I don't think, here's one thing that I do want to make clear. 2 different answers there. Dak is going to be the politician. CeeDee Lamb is the I'm going to shoot it straight guy. They have a great relationship, Lamb and Dak do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this is indicative for anybody who heard that.
Sounds it.
If for anybody who heard it and said, oh, that doesn't sound too great, I do think that their relationship is strong. I don't think there's anything to worry about on that front. CeeDee kind of has a tendency to wear his emotions on his sleeve, as a lot of receivers do. And I think that that's just a symptom of that. And he wants to be involved.
Look, CeeDee's not the only receiver in the NFL who's a one who didn't get the ball for 2 quarters this year. Like, there's other guys. There every single week. I mean, look, Stephon Diggs will go plenty of time during the course of a game without getting the football.
Yeah, he'll tell you about it.
And he'll tell you about it. Anybody out there?
So will A.J. Brown.
Huh?
So will A.J. Brown. So will lots of guys.
It happens. It just happens. I mean, I have to go back and look. Does Kelsey go? And he's not a receiver, but like I put him in the receiver category.
Essentially, pass catcher.
Like, does he go time? Yeah, he probably goes time too. Now, maybe not this year because he literally is the only option. But when you're under siege, it's hard to get the ball to the guys on the outside. Do you want Dak doing what Nick Mullins did this weekend? I don't. Did you see that? Did you see the Minnesota game?
No, I know you talked about. I heard you mention yesterday that he was just forcing to Justin.
He was
Jefferson.
just heaving it up. Now Jefferson came down with dang near all of them in traffic. 2-3 guys on him, jump balls like David Tyree style. But like, is that what you want?
What I want is, if you're having trouble protecting, I want you to hit hot routes. I want you to hit quick slants and let CeeDee make a play. That's typically how he's won in the past and how they've neutralized pass rush a little bit. But CeeDee Lamb was talking about this yesterday, his competitiveness, what matters to him most. CeeDee says he's not a stats guy, that ultimately the only stat he cares about, Choppy, and I think this is true, is the W column.
Yeah, I just know what I can contribute to the team, obviously, and the type of player I am. Worked hard to be in this position, of course, and as everybody else on this team. So just putting myself in the best position, help the team, of course. And, yeah, man, I like to win overall. It's not really so much more of the stat. It's just whatever the stat ends up being after the game, yeah, that's cool. But, like, throughout the game, I'm not, I got 100 yards in the first quarter. Yeah, nah, that's not it. I just like winning. Like, I really have an obsession with winning.
And that's the kind of line that I think you want to hear. And I don't think that's fake from him. I don't think that's him saying like, oh, I don't really care about stats. Sometimes you hear guys say, I'm not worried about stats. I just care about the win at the end of the day. And then that ends up not being true.
No, because if you complain about not getting the ball for the win, then you obviously don't care just about winning.
It's funny. I did.
Nobody cares just about winning.
I did Cowboys crosstalk last night with Kevin Hageland and Dave Campo and Nate Newton.
Well,
yep. And
was Campo wearing underwear?
I don't know. What does that mean?
Did you not ask him?
Why would I ask him?
How would that not have been your first question?
Why would I have asked him that? I clearly don't know what reference you're making.
Hard Knocks. When they pantsed him in the Hard Knocks.
02 or whatever. I was not watching Hard Knocks back then.
Oh, man. Yeah, because they pantsed him in Hard Knocks. He goes, hey, you guys know I don't know where underwear's. Absolutely.
You've interviewed Campo before, right?
A million times.
One of the best storytellers.
Awesome guy.
He's such a good interview.
Guy.
So
that was a miss. That was a big miss on your part.
I apologize.
Next time you talk to Dave Campo, the first thing that needs to be on your mind is that man wearing underwear?
Well, he will be there on Saturday for Jimmy's Ring of Honor induction. He lives in Jacksonville now. 1010, who we've cross-talked with before. He does a lot of stuff for them now, but he's in town to be there for Jimmy's Ring of Honor induction.
Did you give him your thoughts on Jacksonville?
I did not. I should have. That didn't even cross my mind.
He probably doesn't live in Jacksonville. He probably lives in Ponte Vedra, which is a much nicer place.
Whatever it is. But we talked last night, and over the last couple weeks, Nate has really hit the point of where are your tone setters?
Yeah.
Where are your guys who have an edge, who play with a little bit of, I don't know if I can say it, so I'll just use a different term. Spit and vinegar. Like where are those guys who play with that a little bit? And Nate has said, all right, I feel like maybe I'm getting a little bit of that from Micah. And Campo said that like he's clearly frustrated with the holding stuff. He's chattering a lot. We'll talk later on this hour how he drew Rob Gronkowski and Deebo Samuel off sides on Kay Adams' show yesterday. But CeeDee, when you hear him talk about winning games, and you see CeeDee get very emotional in these games. The emotional, Dak is their leader in general. I feel like their emotional leader right now is CeeDee Lamb on offense, and, you know, Micah has been in the past, J-Ron Curse on defense. Those are kind of the emotional tone setters there. But I think that's good what you hear from CeeDee there, because I think he means that, is that winning is what's most important to him.
You know, knowing CeeDee the way we do, it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. I still hold the idea that if you were to pin a lot of these guys down a lie detector, there's a lot of Sidney Dean going on around here. Like not just here, like everywhere. Like you'd rather get yours and lose than get nothing and win.
Speaking of, Cowboys have routinely, it's a stat we've quoted, they don't typically lose back-to-back games under Mike McCarthy.
No.
This was the first time that it happened since 2021. Dak Prescott, what is your mindset after back-to-back losses?
Pissed for sure. But this resilient, I guess, to answer that, and understanding that one was close. Got away from us, obviously, on the road. Could have been a good one, particularly saying the road right against a playoff team, and just didn't get it done. But it's just been about for everybody to be accountable, look themselves in the mirror, say what more can I do individually, and then understanding if we do that, commit to that collectively, we'll continue to get better, and we'll get over this, no doubt about it.
Boy, I'm so sad Shan Sharif is not here today.
Why is that?
Because if we would have played that clip, Peyton, how deep into that clip would Shan have just cut it off and gone, he's not giving real answer, he's not talking, he's not saying anything, stop playing it.
Maybe like 7 seconds or so.
He would have yeah. I think as soon as he went like, pissed for sure, but you know, we're moving forward.
Pissed for sure.
He gave us the backs against the wall mentality quote a couple times yesterday. So I think Shan would have cut that one off quickly. Rahsaan Evans, there is now officially one linebacker on the roster. RJ Choppy. Rahsaan Evans, the former Alabama linebacker, former first-round pick of the Tennessee Titans. I think he was the first-round pick, maybe the second round. Rahsaan Evans was waived by the Cowboys on Wednesday to make room for offensive tackle Matt Waletzko, who we talked about yesterday, as that was the guy they drafted with the Amari Cooper pick. He was activated off IR after dealing with a shoulder injury that he suffered in training camp. This comes a day after.
Fair trade, by the way. Amari for Matt Waletzko.
Fair trade.
Very fair trade.
Like Bruce Willis in Sin City. Rahsaan Evans was arrested. This came out yesterday. He was arrested on Tuesday by Frisco police for possession of marijuana. Team sources, according to Todd Archer, have said Evans' release was not directly related to this arrest. It just kind of made it easier. Like, oh, we need a spot. He was near the back end of the roster anyway. Here's some trouble. We're going to go ahead and move on.
How much of the sticky did he have on him to get arrested for marijuana?
I mean, this is Frisco. I feel like Frisco is gonna. You won't need as much for Frisco to.
You don't think so?
Nah, not Frisco.
It's buttoned up,
dude. I got told yesterday, and I know there's gonna be some people who probably complain on the fan text here, but routinely I've gone into Cowboys Club to do this hit. Yesterday was the first time that when I walked in to do it, the person at the front desk said, "You need to take your hat off." It's like, damn it. All right, fine. So I had to take my hat off walking into Cowboys Club.
Oh, and they saw the baldness?
They did.
Oh,
they did. I need some Dr. Mark Bashara, like old Choppy.
Did you not? So you didn't wear it during the show?
No, I put it on as soon as the show started. Yep. So, but Rahsaan Evans.
So, there's a way around that.
Just tell him I'm not going to listen.
Cowboy hat.
Yeah, but
they will never tell you to take a cowboy hat off.
As soon as I saw somebody at the bar wearing a hat, I was like, I'm putting this on now.
Yeah.
So, Rahsaan Evans, though, he gets released. That means the Cowboys have one linebacker on their roster right now. That's Damone Clark. They have nobody else. They're playing hybrid safeties the rest of the way. They got a couple on the practice squad, obviously, but a thin group.
Can't imagine why they can't stop the run.
A thin group gets even thinner.
Now, theoretically, this makes a better coverage unit, though, right?
Sure, but I mean, this is in terms of the fact that they'll play more Wanye Thomas in the box, probably. Obviously, play Bell in there and things like that, but they need some depth at linebacker. They really miss, honestly, the two guys they really expected to be contributors. Leighton Vander Esch, done for the year. DeMarvion Overshown, done for the year. Those were the two guys that they were really looking forward to.
Absolutely. It was a bummer when those two guys got hurt, man, because that was a good unit. I mean, it really was.